are here in Jubail, Saudi Arabia, at the site of one of the oldest standing churches on the planet, an Assyrian church from the 4th century.
For more than 14 centuries, one idea has shaped how millions of people view the Arabian Peninsula. It is remembered as the birthplace of Islam, the land where Muhammad received his revelations, and the region from which one of the world's largest religions spread across continents. But what if that is only part of the story? What if, beneath the deserts of Arabia, hidden under centuries of drifting sand and forgotten history, there were traces of another faith that had already taken root long before Islam ever appeared? What if archaeologists uncovered evidence proving that Christian communities were not merely visitors to Arabia, but were deeply established there centuries before the 7th century? And what if those discoveries raise difficult historical questions that many people have never been asked to consider? Because that is exactly what happened. Along the eastern coast of modern Saudi Arabia, a remarkable discovery emerged from beneath the ground, one that revealed a forgotten chapter of Arabian history and offered an extraordinary glimpse into a world that existed long before the rise of Islam. The discovery was not a manuscript hidden in a cave. It was not a legend preserved in an ancient text. It was something far more difficult to dismiss. It was carved in stone. Before we uncover this remarkable story, take a moment to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest explorations into history, archaeology, faith, and ancient mysteries. Now, let us journey into the deserts of Arabia and uncover the forgotten church that stood centuries before the rise of Islam. When most people think of Saudi Arabia, they immediately associate it with Islam. After all, it is home to the sacred cities of Mecca and Medina, and is universally recognized as the birthplace of the Islamic faith. Yet history reveals a much more complex picture. Long before the 7th century, Arabia was not religiously uniform. Various tribes practiced different beliefs. Some worshipped local deities, others followed Judaism, and many communities embraced Christianity. The Bible itself contains prophecies and references concerning Arabia and neighboring regions. The Apostle Paul even mentions spending time in Arabia after his conversion. In Galatians chapter 1, verse 17, Paul writes, "Neither went I up to Jerusalem to them which were apostles before me, but I went into Arabia, and returned again unto Damascus." This simple statement reminds us that Arabia was already connected to the broader religious world of the ancient Near East. Trade routes stretching from Mesopotamia to the Persian Gulf allowed not only goods, but also ideas, cultures, and religious beliefs to travel vast distances. Christianity followed these routes and established communities across the Gulf region centuries before Islam emerged. For more than 1,000 years, the remains of an ancient church lay buried beneath the desert near the city of Jubail in Saudi Arabia's eastern province. Then, in 1986, something unexpected happened. A vehicle accidentally disturbed part of an ancient structure. What initially appeared insignificant soon attracted the attention of archaeologists and government officials. Excavations began, and as the sands were carefully removed, an extraordinary discovery emerged. Beneath the surface stood the remains of a Christian church. Not a rumor, not a legend, not a story passed down through generations. An actual church building. The discovery immediately captured the attention of historians because it provided physical evidence of an organized Christian presence deep within Arabia, centuries before the rise of Islam. The significance of the Jubail Church extends far beyond the structure itself. Archaeologists identified features commonly associated with early Christian worship. The building contained a central worship area, chambers believed to have served religious functions, and most importantly, visible carvings of crosses. These crosses confirmed the Christian identity of the site. Scholars studying the architecture noted similarities with churches found elsewhere along the Arabian Gulf. Evidence suggested that the building likely belonged to the Church of the East, sometimes called Nestorian Christianity, which spread extensively throughout Mesopotamia and neighboring regions during the early centuries of Christianity. The church appeared to date from somewhere around the 4th century AD, although exact dating remains debated. If these estimates are correct, the church stood roughly 300 years before Islam emerged in the 7th century. That realization alone transformed the site into one of the most important archaeological discoveries in Arabian history. Many people are surprised to learn that Christianity flourished across portions of Arabia long before the birth of Islam. By the 4th and 5th centuries, Christian communities existed throughout the Gulf region. Merchants, sailors, missionaries, and settlers carried their faith into trading settlements stretching from modern Iraq down to Bahrain, Kuwait, the United Arab Emirates, Oman, and Eastern Arabia. These communities built churches, established places of worship, and participated in the vibrant commercial networks connecting the ancient world. The Jubail Church serves as physical testimony to this forgotten reality. Far from being isolated, Arabia was deeply interconnected with neighboring civilizations. Ideas flowed across borders, cultures interacted, religious traditions met and influenced one another. The church stands as evidence of this remarkable exchange. One of the most fascinating aspects of the Jubail Church is its simplicity. Unlike the massive cathedrals that would later appear throughout Europe, this church was modest and practical. Constructed primarily from stone and plaster, it reflected the realities of life in a harsh desert environment. Its design emphasized communal worship rather than grandeur, yet its simplicity carries profound significance. The existence of a permanent church structure indicates that the local Christian population was organized and established enough to construct a dedicated place of worship. This was not a temporary gathering place. It was a spiritual home. The weathered walls and surviving crosses still testify to the faith of believers who gathered there more than 1,500 years ago. As Islam spread across Arabia during the 7th century, the religious landscape gradually changed. Many Christian communities converted to Islam. Others migrated northward into Mesopotamia and Persia. Over time, churches were abandoned. The Jubail Church eventually fell silent. Sandstorms slowly buried its walls. Generations passed, empires rose and collapsed. The memory of the church faded almost entirely from human knowledge. For more than a millennium, it remained hidden beneath the desert. Yet, despite centuries of neglect, the structure survived. Its survival serves as a remarkable reminder that history often leaves traces waiting to be rediscovered. The ancient Jubail Church remains one of the most extraordinary discoveries ever made in Saudi Arabia. Buried beneath the sands for centuries, it revealed a forgotten chapter of Arabian history and offered undeniable evidence that Christianity once flourished in parts of the region long before the rise of Islam. Its silent ruins remind us that Arabia's story is deeper, richer, and more complex than many realize. The church stands as a witness to ancient believers, thriving trade routes, cultural exchanges, and a world that existed long before modern religious boundaries took shape. Though the structure remains largely inaccessible today, its historical significance continues to inspire scholars and researchers around the world. The sands of Arabia concealed this secret for more than 1,000 years. Now that it has been revealed, it serves as a remarkable reminder that history still has many hidden chapters waiting to be discovered.